time to pack your passport because we're heading overseas. James Joyce, the author, once said, "The demand I make of my reader is that he should devote his entire life to reading my works." Pretty big demand. And guess what? Some people have practically done just that. We're heading right now to Venice, California to chat to filmmaker and book club host Gerry Fialka, who, and I don't want to say they've finished it because technically the book never finishes, but has devoted the past 28 years to reading James Joyce's epic Finnegan's Wake. So can I say good morning from Melbourne and congratulations, Gerry Fialka. Great to have your company.
Thank you, Sammy. You're the man. It's all so wonderful to share dialogue with you and study the hidden psychic effects of talk radio. That's exactly what James Joyce invented and disguised it as a book. And in fact, there's a perfect joke that Marshall McLuhan, who learned everything he knows from Finnegan's Wake, said that goes right along with the thread of your last caller. The priest is crossing the Canadian border and the custom officer says, "Excuse me, Father, what's in that fat flask?" And he goes, "It's water." And the custom officer says, "Give me that," and takes a swig and he goes, "That's whiskey." And the priest goes, "It's a miracle."
Gerry,
I'm glad you laughed because communication of the new is a miracle, but it's not impossible. So that's just what you do with talk radio. You try to have communication of the new, and that's what Joyce was doing.
Well, Gerry, look, talk radio, as you know, is a very old medium, in fact, and I like to think that I can sort of lean into gibberish as much as James could, not that mine has as much thought behind it. What made you think this book was the one to choose 28 years ago, Gerry? What led you towards Finnegan's Wake, one of the most obtuse, indecipherable texts of modern literature?
And it isn't that. It isn't gibberish. It's like singing Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. It's really a hootenanny. And it's simply what led me to that book in particular is because I surveyed the history of art and literature. And, you know, in literature, they say the Bible and Shakespeare and Ulysses. And then, oh, my God, James Joyce went too far with Finnegan's Wake. And it's the greatest guidebook to media studies, to studying media literacy. When you do your talk on radio, people want to know, what's he really saying? What's the hidden psychic effects of radio? And that's what Joyce was doing, sitting in Paris in the 20s, listening to shortwave radio and writing it all down so that we could turn the book reading experience into an eye. You know, the eye is involved in reading a book. With Joyce, when you're with a group of people, Finnegan's Wake, you're reading a book out loud with a group of people. It turns an eye experience into an ear experience.
And
so you don't have subtitles on your radio show. So imagine if you're reading a script and they were scrolling subtitles. That's why your show is Finnegan's Wake.
I adore this, the connection you're drawing, Gerry, of course. But look, also, I don't have people sitting around discussing and going through every word I have. I mean, they do at home, sure, but not in a formalized.
Sammy,
it's called the ratings, Gerry.
Yeah, Sammy, you want them to talk about. Did you hear what Sammy said today? He talked about this, and that reminded me of that. This is the interconnecting, this concept. It's called conceptual continuity by Frank Zappa, and it's called complex clairvoyance by McLuhan. It's this ongoing thread that connects us all to being human.
Gerry, you are a beautiful human. I can tell this already. I want to ask, how many humans started out with you when you started reading this book, and how many humans made it to the finish line 28 years later?
There's a few aliens in there too, yeah, I'm sure. Look at 10 to 30 people over 28 years. Some of them have stuck through it. One guy just came back after being away for 22 years. It's a great thing. It's like a family. It's community.
How did you finish? I know the book sort of doesn't actually finish. It sends you back to the start, which is a beautiful thing as well. But what did you do for the final passage, the final reading as a group? Because that would have been a big moment.
It wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, some people can make it. I did it in I read in Finnegan's Wake groups in Dublin, Texas, and New York all the time. Since Zoom, we can go worldwide with this. So I've gone through the transition to the front page before, and a tear comes in my eye or it feels good, but it's no different. Every page on the Wake is like that. My wife's a pro jazz singer, and she'll read a page with us and she'll go, "That's the best page ever." And it's like, every page is the best page. It doesn't matter. There's no content in the Wake. It's just people being together, sharing, like the other radio show I did, conversation that counts. There's your cut line. Yeah, it's conversation that counts. So, you and me can read the Wake right now. You don't need 28 years. So I'm going to say a word from the Wake and you repeat it after me. Laugh, tears.
Laugh, tears.
Okay, he culture jammed. He did like Duchamp or Banksy. He took the word laughter and added 2 letters, A and S. This is unique to me. I discovered this. A and S mean as. All language is metaphoric. So he turned laughter into laugh tears. That's the human condition.
Gerry,
Well, one thing, words evoke more in their meaning. So you laugh and you cry. That's the human condition. You fall and you get back up.
Gerry Fialka, I wish I could just hand the microphone to you for the day ahead, but we're coming up to the news, as you'll appreciate. We'll chat again, my friend. I would dearly love to do that. And thank you so much for your energy and your time this morning.
Sammy, thank you. Blessed. Discover the hidden psychic effects of radio and go with it, dude.
Gerry Fialka, filmmaker, book club host, and my favourite guest in the 4 years I've spent doing this program.